decided fuck standards. I'm not gonna wait till the timer ends. I'm chatting. Hello. Hi, Linky. How are you doing? I love that emote. That's really cool. It's all flashy and it is a really good ADHD emote. Sean, hello! Welcome in. It's been a while. How have you been, buddy? We're listening to some Zelda music because PowerWash Simulator does not have menu music for some reason. Hi. Check my Twitter. I should. Later. Actually, I could do that now. No, I can't. I closed Twitter. Never mind. I'll do that later. Whoa, hi, Crow. Hello, Nova. It's been a while. How are you? How have you been? How is everybody? My chat a pigeon. I didn't see that. I saw that on Discord. You sent me the Discord message. So, we are doing a collab. This is my first collab. Their first proper collab on my channel. Since my break, since my birthday. This has been a while. So, please, everyone be nice, behave, be kind to our guests. I want them to think that we're cool. But I'm cool. The Mario movie wasn't shit. That's what I've heard. I've heard that the Mario movie is really good. I've heard that it is very much for kids. It is not for people our age. But it's a fun movie with lots of Easter eggs. I've heard there was more Easter eggs in that movie than there was for the holiday Easter, which hasn't happened yet. Shut up. How do I sound? How does everything sound? Does the music sound? How do I sound? And how are you guys doing today? I'm sorry, I'm spastic as fuck. I have medication for my ADHD, and it is doing jack shit. Heard Chris Pratt is a bad person, so a little bit far from the worst. Just has some bad ideas. Sean, how was the movie? Speaking of Crass Pritt. Yeah, Crass Pritt. Speaking of Crass Pritt, how was his Mario voice for the rest of the movie? Was it as bad as all the trailers? I've been scouring YouTube and I'm making the Ultimate Media Share playlist. Ultimate Media Share playlist. How so? Explain. Evaluate. Evaluate for me. I can't talk today, so we're just rolling with all of the Freudian slips. I'm making up my own terminology as we go. Just the most random BS I can find on the internet. That's fair. If you want some random bullshit, might I point you to the Shia LaBeouf song?
Ready when you are.
And the Lord of the Rings, but everybody's walking. Hello. Sorry, I was being a nerd talking about random bullshit movies on the internet.
That's alright, as you do.
As we do.
Yes, why don't you introduce yourself today?
Well, hello everybody. For those who do not know me, my name is CrowBirdCannon. I am a variety streamer who does a lot of different games, including a lot of Zelda. Strong focus on Zelda stuff.
Oh yes, I can tell by your shirt.
Yes, my PNG and pretty much any art of me is either me from like a Link version of me, or I have a Zelda shirt.
I see.
It's great. Tell us about you.
And I see you also. Oh, what time to duel? It's not time to duel. I am not dueling this man. Welcome in, Basil. So I am ZhaJirou, and I am also a variety streamer. I think by accident. I mostly joined, when I initially joined, I wanted to be a reading streamer, and people seemed more interested in watching me play games. I think every poll that I've ever run has been, oh, I would rather you collaborate with people. So that is what the people have wanted. Oh, Crow's a little quiet? Okay, I will turn him up. There we go.
For some additional context as to who I am, one of my viewers, Spamaman, says Crow is the 8th coolest guy in the world. So, I don't know
who the first.
I don't know who the first 7 is.
Do you have to fight them? You have to challenge them to a card duel.
Probably. It's probably one of those like I am rank 8 and I've got to fight and beat rank number 7 in order to take rank 7.
Right. Exactly.
Doesn't It's either an anime or a game plot, and I don't remember which one it is.
I mean, it's a lot of anime and game plots.
Probably both. Anyway, it's Power Wash time.
It's Power Wash time.
So
I'm waiting for an invite from you.
yeah. So if you don't mind, I was looking through the menus and I had a little like nerdy schoolgirl outburst because I saw that they have a Midgar one from Final Fantasy VII, and I'm a nerd, so.
Oh, by all means. I've never finalized my fantasy 7 times yet.
Now, you're gonna have to bear with me for a second while I figure out how to do this.
Of course.
I think I'll or how do I say your name?
I think you
How
start
to
the
do.
run and then you can go into
Thank you for the
options and
follow.
invite someone.
Welcome in. Welcome to the flock. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. Oh, yep, there we go. Co-op. Confirm. Co-op on. Invite? Maybe? Yeah. You are right there. This is cool. This...
You know, when the game first came out, I kept talking about how I wish they had a collaboration version
Yeah.
where you could clean something together. Oh,
I think co-op
wow.
mode was probably one of the most requested things. So, I want to know.
This looks quite clean already. Why?
I think
Are
we're
we
just
just
cleaning
cleaning
the
the
vehicles.
vehicles?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. This one is shiny.
So, what is your thought? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you see this room?
It looks like a mob boss's car lair with his many getaway vehicles.
So, to me, when I saw this, my first thought was, oh, hey, this reminds me of Cars 3.
Oh no, I was thinking of Yakuza, but yes.
I
Cars
don't know
3,
why.
Of course.
I haven't seen Cars 3 in over a decade, but I saw this and I'm like, this reminds me of the movie.
I've never seen any Cars.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fun. They're fun movies.
I do enjoy a lot of Disney films. And you know what's interesting? When I was growing up, I loved Hot Wheels. I feel like I was too old when Cars came out.
Nonsense.
Perhaps that might be the problem. So do we have to select one of these, or can we just clean any car that's here?
Just go nuts. You can spray it. You can
Oh.
also, if I remember correctly...
Oh, I see. Yes, Smith, we can
I need-
steal the cars.
I need to turn that volume down.
Oh, yes. I turned it down the first thing once I heard how loud the clicking was.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Let me know if
Yep.
the music,
Look at me.
if the music is too loud or if the
Sure.
power washing is too loud.
Check this out. Look at me.
Oh, you can wash each other.
You can push someone away.
I see.
Some things have collision, not everything does. Also, we have our definitive list. The 7 people above me, and I don't know if this is in order or not. Optimus Prime, Batman, Travis Touchdown, Godzilla, Bob Dylan, Spider-Gwen, and James Earl Jones's voice.
Sorry, Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many of those I could take in a fight. Like,
All of them, right?
I can definitely take James Earl Jones's voice. I could probably take Travis Touchdown. Maybe Bob Dylan, and probably Optimus Prime. But everyone else, I don't know. So I might be able to crack top 3, but definitely top 5.
Batman's not on there.
Batman's on there.
Oh. This will... Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, Batman's...
This will date me quite a bit.
Sure.
I don't know how old you are, but do you remember when you were younger and every meme where the strongest man alive was Chuck Norris?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Common thing was rock, paper, scissors, Chuck Norris, and then you just punch somebody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, me and my friends did that a lot. It was just an
see.
excuse to punch somebody.
Well,
Oh,
of course. So was Bloody Knuckles was an excuse to ping quarters off of people's hands.
Yeah, or
And did you ever do that thing where you tried to what was it? You tried to erase yourself? Children are terrifying and have no preservation skills. at all.
That one doesn't sound familiar. I know a common one when I was a kid was slug bug.
Ah, what's that?
Whenever somebody drives by in one of those like little beetle
Oh,
cars,
yes.
yeah, yell
Punch
slug
buggy,
bug.
no punchbacks.
Yeah, we call it slug bug, but
Ah,
same
I see.
principle. It might just be a regional thing. I don't live there
Perhaps.
anymore, but I'm from Colorado, so that might just be a Western thing.
I'm from Canada, and I'm still in Canada, so
It's a
that
little
could
bit.
be why. I did see on Steam it states your location, and I was going to comment on it, but I didn't want to dox you, so
I
I will
mean,
refrain from commenting
you
on
can
it.
you can say like the state that I'm in is Ohio. That's that's
Right. So, but I was going to say it's a missed opportunity that I don't call it Ohio.
Ohio. Oh my God! I've never thought of that.
No,
Why have I never thought of that? That's amazing.
it's good. It's good.
From henceforth, that is the name of the state. We are legally changing it. Somebody send a message
Yeah.
to the Supreme
The mayor
Court.
of Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone send a message to the U.S. Senate. We have to change all the documents. It is officially Ohio
It is.
from here on out. I love that.
It's good, isn't it? I did have a few questions actually because, and you get this a lot. A lot of people assume that you're a VTuber,
Yeah,
but you're not.
I hang out with a lot of VTubers. Just because a lot of my friends are or have turned into VTubers. It's just
They turned into
association.
VTubers. It's an epidemic.
Yeah.
You
well,
wake up one day, they're 2D.
Have you seen the meme of the VTuber pipeline?
No.
Hold on, I need to
I'm
grab
afraid
this
to
for you.
ask, what is it? Does it start off as being,
It is so fucking funny, and we laugh at one of our friends because this was his experience to a T.
okay, please tell me about the VTuber pipeline.
I'm just gonna. I already found it for you. It is
Okay, excellent.
one of my favorite things. So here, I'm gonna send it to you on Discord. For anyone who's just listening and can't see it, I mean you can Google it. It's just the different steps that a person goes through. 2017, VTubers are cringe. 2018, this VTuber is kind of funny. 2019, I'm sub to them, but I'm not a simp. 2020, becoming a VTuber
Oh, I
might be
see.
fun. 2021, I'm debuting tomorrow. Don't miss it.
I see. They've co-opted the femboy to trans woman pipeline
Yeah, they changed it
to be VTubers. I understand.
Sorry, I have one of my alerts is a jump scare scream
Ah,
that I just
see.
got hit with. Hi, Willie. Thanks, buddy. My ribs hurt. Crack you one day, Crow. You
Yeah,
will
most
join
of
us. You
my
can try.
sound redeems is just
Everyone evolves one day. The
what is it?
I
The
love
nut.
this. Everyone evolves one day. The VTuberification process awaits.
You know, it's that one is a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, plenty of my VTuber friends
meme?
have threatened me. Oh, the meme. Okay.
The meme, yes, because there's no talking about being part of the alphabet mafia or mentally ill, so that's quite nice.
We're all a little mentally ill.
Yeah, we kind of are, aren't we? Especially after, the past 3 years.
Yeah. But
Here's something that I say that upsets people a great deal. 2018 was 5 years ago.
I have just come to stop, thinking about the passage of time. I accept. I'm
Yeah.
old as shit. I'm an old-ass man. It'd be like that
Oh, okay.
sometimes.
I think we might be the same age, but I'm not going to ask you, and I'm not going to tell. I'll ask you afterwards.
I mean, like I said, I don't mind sharing, but that's up to you.
All right.
I am 27.
Oh, you're younger than I am.
Yeah, most people lowball my age. One of my favorite
Huh.
things to do whenever someone asks me how old I am is for me to ask them, how old do you think I am? And
Ah,
I've had 3 people guess it right ever.
interesting.
I don't get under the hood. What?
I think you might need one of those attachments.
Nah, it's just a...
You can also lie on your stomach. I don't know if that will help.
Yeah, I think I'm crouched. It's just needed... angle.
So are you partway through this? Because this car looks clean.
No, I think it only gave us the 2.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
If you press tab, it'll highlight the dirt spots, so you can see
Yes.
what you may have missed.
Ah, I see, I see.
You know, I hang out with and am friends with a lot of VTubers, so that obviously lends me to partake in a lot of VTuber traditions and activities and whatnot. So people on the outside who may not have seen my streams may think that I am in fact a VTuber when I am not.
Well, the thing is that I've seen a few of your streams, and for some reason, I thought that you used to be a VTuber and you've transitioned to using Facecam.
Nope.
That was my initial impression.
I have always been a Facecam content creator because so, fun little fact, I have been doing content creation in some form or another for over 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
I started way back in 2013, but I was initially a YouTuber. And Markiplier was my biggest inspiration. So I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be the same kind of creator he was, i.e. Facecam.
And you transitioned, and what made you choose to transition to live content creation? 'Cause it's a lot more difficult.
Honestly, I would say it's actually easier being a Twitch
It is.
streamer versus being a YouTuber, just because, as opposed to like,
Well, you have to do both.
yeah, but I just mean,
Whereas if you don't do if you do only not live content, you don't have to do both of it. You only have to do one, right? So.
I mean, you don't really have to do YouTube, but it's definitely better to do it. But the reason that I switched was because I've struggled with inconsistency with content creation pretty much since my career started. So I've taken breaks spanning from months to literal years. But eventually one of my buddies, Voice of Perseus, he was the first to transition from YouTuber to Twitch streamer, just because, you know.
I didn't know that he used to be. Anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
You're good. But in 2020, he saw how popular Twitch was getting, so he jumped ship first. And after partaking in a couple of his streams and, you know, just wanting to get back into content creation, because I was taking a break from YouTube at the time, I was like, let me do that. Let me jump in and give that a try. And 2 years on, the rest is history.
How are you finding it?
I'm having fun. I like the live format a lot better. I like the direct feedback, being able to talk with and engage with people and let people engage with the streams. Be a part of the show, you know? It feels more like showmanship, because I used to be a theater student, so it makes me feel like my acting days are back, to a degree.
Oh, I see.
I think I'm done with my bike. Come help you.
Alright. There's just some finicky bits.
So what about you? Tell us about your content journey.
Well, so interesting fact, I also used to be, well, I am what I thought you were. I used to do Facecam streaming, but I don't anymore. I guess that showmanship that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to play a character. I wanted to play a role. I didn't want to be myself, if that makes any sense. So that was sort of how I came to start VTubing. I started mostly posting on Twitter, and then I debuted, and I've been streaming ever since. And as I said, I initially wanted to do some YouTube content as well. I wanted to do ASMR reading streams and reading videos because I struggle with insomnia, and I thought that if I could help someone else, that would also be quite nice. But unfortunately, it's been a lot more gaming, which is all right. I do enjoy it. It's just not I'd like to go back to my roots at some point.
Right. It's good to diversify what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think the really cool thing about Twitch being more common, I guess, or more mainstream, is the amount of people that don't follow that gaming only format anymore. You know,
Yeah.
you see people on there doing talk shows, you see people doing interviews, cooking streams, all sorts of things. And I really like that sort of variety that's come to this medium.
I, at some point, want to do more hosting related stuff. Hosting competitions, game shows, things like that. Because the first time that we had any sort of real, like, two-way communication was when I reached out to you about the CrowOlympics thing that I was going to come up with.
Right. Yeah, and then I didn't hear about it for some time, so I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
my mental health kind of cratered because of a couple of things happening in my personal life.
Oh.
And so I took like a almost 4-month break. Or 3 months. It was 3 months. So I didn't end up doing it. I do still want to and plan to do it. I just need to actually have the time to put it together, which probably won't happen until the fall because I have other things that will be coming up first. Where is this last thing?
I don't know. I don't know what a cab panel is. So I'm also equally stumped.
Cab?
And it's not lighting up for me, so...
Cab, I think, is this, like, main piece here, where you go inside. But I don't know what the
but it's
cab panel is.
Nothing is happening.
Well, we switch to wide spray and just go nuts, I guess.
I see. Myth in my chat says theater for the win. I was never into theater myself. I've always been more of an active consumer in these sorts of media than a creator of any sort. I was a writer when I was young. But I think that was sort of my foray into any sort of creation at all.
Everybody has, I believe, everybody has some sort of creative medium outlet. Some people are talented artists, some people are talented singers or musicians. I am none of the above.
Oh, trust me, neither am I.
My form of creativity is on... Hey,
oh, that's what it was.
We got it. Did you find it?
I mean, I saw it ding after you finished it, so
something.
I think we're done now.
It liked something. Hello, Dragon. I'm doing well. How are you doing today? But, you know, I am the kind of person, I want to make people happy. I like bringing joy, telling jokes, just being more over the top, expressive, things like that. So that's just where I thrive. So Twitch, YouTube. I tried radio for a little bit when I was in college.
I see.
Things like
Would
that.
you ever do a podcast? That's kind of like radio and content creation put together, isn't it?
Yeah, so I actually do have a podcast. It's on break right now because it's me and my buddies, Voice of Perseus and Snake's Box. It's on break right now because Perseus is currently in a like sword training class thing that eats up all of his free time. So it's on hiatus.
Imagine having such a fascinating life that you have to put your podcast career on hold so that you can learn to wield a sword.
Yeah, him and his cool new friends. This is cool. So the Final Fantasy VII thing is just going to be like, this job is from an add-on. You players do not have the job we kicked from the session. What? You should be fine because you were able to join this one, so I'm assuming you should be fine for this. Because I haven't bought any add-ons for this game.
Neither have I.
I may have to re-add you. No,
no worries.
Says you're here. There you are. Okay,
I'm
cool.
here.
We're good.
What the hell is this thing?
We have
This is terrifying. It's the grabbers.
It moves. Oh, this thing's still alive. You fight this. This is like a defense robot.
Oh,
Scorpion Sentinel, one of Shinra's greatest achievements in military robotics. Thanks, Heidegger.
fascinating.
Anyway,
Sorry, one second. I'm just catching up on chat. Myth says that I did drama for a majority of high school, but then did art, so I changed career paths. Yes, I feel like a lot of people do sort of change career paths in that way. And Princess Linky says my school grounded me from doing more drama classes. That's very sad.
yeah, I. Your career path will change a lot throughout your life. You'll
Oh,
think
for sure.
you know what you want to do when you're a kid, and that will change several times. Like, I went into college thinking that I knew what I wanted to do, and that changed twice just in the 2 years I was in college before I dropped out. So, life has a lot of twists and turns. About what you make with it.
Of course, and thank you for that advice. Also, Basil says, if I didn't know better, I'd say you had a grudge against Magitech. The evil Mattel Scorpion.
Maybe.
So, do you play Final Fantasy XIV?
No, I don't, but Perseus does. I've seen
Okay,
the
so
trap
this,
that
so
it can
that's,
be.
so I do have to say, I've never played a single Final Fantasy in my life. I did not have a computer to play games with growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was purely into Nintendo, so I'm very familiar with your love for Link and, that series,
Also,
but I
thank you,
never
Linky.
really
I
had
appreciate
any
that.
love for Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy. So I don't understand any of the references. In Final Fantasy XIV, there are multiple references to the older games,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of my friends assure me that it's done very well, but I have absolutely no concept of
I
what they are.
I have
No
never played
appreciation.
14, so I don't know what sort of Easter eggs and whatnot are hidden in the game, but I would imagine that, like they say, it is probably done very well, just because the Final Fantasy team that works on those games really does care a lot about them.
Yeah, the series as a whole, not just
Yeah.
the game they're working on, which it's wonderful. I kind of feel like not having that as part of my childhood somehow robs me somewhat from
Nah.
the experience.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but life is, we live very long lives. It's never too
That's
late.
true. I could back and play through Final Fantasies 1. Is there even a Final Fantasy 1? 1 through
Yes.
however many there are right now, 15, I think.
So we're gonna get into the complexities of Final Fantasy. So
Oh no.
there's technically two Final Fantasy ones. I think the original Final Fantasy 1 is now Final Fantasy 3 or something like that, or I don't remember. It's there. The story of the Final Fantasy games is more complex than fucking Star Wars. But yeah, there is a Final Fantasy 1. There is a Game Boy Advance cartridge that has 1 and 2 together that I recommend because it has a bunch of like expansion content that was not part of the original game. A fun little aside, when I was taking my break from YouTube before I got into streaming, maybe as well I was streaming, I don't remember. I decided to go back and play Final Fantasy 1 because I had never beaten it. So I was committed to finishing the game and 100%ing it because that's just what I do. I just like 100%ing games. I one-shot the final boss.
Oh wow.
Because the gear that you
tell me
get
more
from the
about-
expansion is crazy.
I see. So tell me about this thing that we're currently cleaning.
I know jack shit about this because this is
I
from
see.
the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I see. So you've selected because it looks cool.
Yes, no, kind of. There was only one panel option in the menu for Final Fantasy VII, but it just, as soon as we finished the last job, it prompted me to start this one. So I think it's just going to be a sequential series of jobs.
Oh, that's alright.
I'm working with the base level gear, so I'm not clearing
As am
through it.
I.
It's gonna take us longer than somebody who has some higher end stuff.
Well, that's all right.
But we're getting money for
It
it.
just means we have to do a more thorough job.
Yeah. Just means we
It's
get to spend
interesting
more
'cause you
time
can-
on this.
It's interesting because you can lift and lower the arm to get different angles, and I
Can
don't
you?
know about the other levels, but I don't. Yeah, so if you come up here,
Oh, look at that.
can you see it? You can raise and lower pieces of it.
Huh. Interesting.
I've never seen this mechanic in this game before, so
Neither have I.
I thought it was interesting. Also, I just kind of made him wave a little bit for fun.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just I'm
You're
just
just
constantly
making him
raising it up
wave.
and down.
I can see that. Yes.
So I don't know about you. I have ADHD and I have it bad. So
Ah.
if I ever trail off on a thought or I get distracted by something and just forget what I was doing, that's why.
Oh,
And-
that's all right. I'm well acquainted with ADHD. My partner has it quite bad as well.
It can be both a fantastic and horrible thing. All depends on what flavor you get for the day.
Oh, there are many. Yeah, there are many ADHD flavors. Basil's upset that I'm talking about him.
Are you? Are we? Sure.
Oh, the ADHD. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Oh, okay. I thought
I think he didn't like me exposing him like this.
I thought that it was like one of the messages we get in game because every once in a while you get a text message.
No. This is Basil's my partner. He's in my chat right now.
Gotcha.
This
That's
is
not
disgusting.
That's not
Some of
fun.
these,
There's not
the coating, the green coating, I do not like how shiny it is.
Yeah,
It kind of it looks like mold almost.
that might be what it's going for. It is very slimy looking.
It is. I don't like this. I don't appreciate the slime.
It's fine. He went on an adventure and he had fun, and
He got slimed.
he got slimed. Maybe it's Nickelodeon Gack. I don't know. Is that even still a
Oh.
thing? Do people even know what that is anymore?
I don't, but I remember Basil talking about it, and there's also a Canadian equivalent. I remember this weird obsession with slime and goo and grossness in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Did you have Nickelodeon in Canada?
We
Was
did
that-
not. We had something called Teletoon, which is kind of like Canadian Nickelodeon. We did have a lot of Nickelodeon shows because Canada is in itself not a large enough country to produce entirely its own content.
Right.
But we did have a live TV show where kids would go and compete very much the same way that you described it, and we called it Uh-Oh. And children would compete in contests and get slimed and things like that. Which, in modern day, if you think about it, it's kind of weird, right? And mildly traumatic for the children.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I think it depends on the kid. Ones who are more outgoing or crave things like that, I think would be all up for it.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think that some of the children, their parents signed them up and they didn't want to be there.
Probably.
Was the impression that I got.
I mean, you're definitely right.
But yes, I'm sure some of the children had a good time and others probably did not.
Did you ever see or get to see the game show Wipeout? I don't know if that was in Canada.
I don't think so, but I've heard of it.
It is kind of similar to what you're describing, but it's for adults. You're basically put on this obstacle course. It's like Fall Guys. It is real life
like
Fall Guys.
what is it? American Ninja Warriors? I've seen that.
Yeah, kind of like that. But the courses are just very much absurd and have gigantic, obstacles like giant red balls or a wall with foam fists that'll punch at random intervals to try to, punch you off the wall.
Yes, that does sound like real life Fall Guys. That seems terrifying.
I wanted to do that ever since I was a kid. It seemed like so much fun. I wanted to compete so badly, and they canned the show right after I turned 18.
Oh no.
So I didn't get to compete. I guess
Aw.
they apparently brought it back for a little bit and then scrapped it again.
I see. I suppose it didn't get the views that they needed.
Yeah, kind of lost its luster after a while, I imagine, because it's more or less the same
I mean,
thing.
it's quite formulaic. Yeah, I was going to say.
But it seemed fun.
If you liked this sort of thing, I did want to tell you about a show I've been watching on Netflix lately. It's called Physical 100.
Fiscal
And
100.
yes, and it's a little bit more serious than Wipeout, but you have 100 of Korea's top athletes and people in their field, security guards, people in the army, farmers, things like that, and they compete in physical challenges. And they do have things where there's like a ball they have to push back and forth and things like that. They have to pull a boat.
Sounds like a less dangerous Squid Game.
Yes, actually, they did make references to that. Oh, Basil was wondering if you've ever seen Kid Nation.
I have not. That sounds familiar, but
It became very popular lately because some well-known Twitch streamers were doing live reactions to it. But it's basically they take a bunch of children, put them in the middle of nowhere, and get them to govern themselves, and give them a case system. Oh, Hassan. Hassan was the one that was watching it.
Song Piker. Nope. I have never seen it.
We were watching it recently. I haven't finished watching it yet, but that's another traumatizing child show.
Yeah, that one sounds kind of rough.
Myth says Lord of the Flies, not quite like that yet, but getting pretty close.
What about Total Drama Island?
Oh, I've seen See, Total Drama Island was a little bit after my time. I think I was kind of. There was there was another done in that style
16?
thing called 16. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched that growing up.
That, I think, only had one season or something, didn't it?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I just remember it. I feel like I remember just kind of falling off the face of the earth to make way for the Total Drama series.
That makes sense. I mean, it's made by the same company.
Yeah.
I think Total Drama Island, I believe, might be Canadian.
Yes.
Though correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is.
Yes.
Oh, Basil says 16 had 4 seasons.
Really?
And 93 episodes. That is so many episodes.
Jesus.
How long have these kids spent at the mall?
The only one that I remember is the very, very first episode with zombies, which I guess was like a dream or something, I think, if I remember right.
You know, it's been so long I don't entirely remember.
I just remember zombies. And a few
I see.
details that would probably make some people a bit squeamish.
Ah.
I don't know. That was a long, long time ago.
Indeed.
Pigeon is named
What was your
Geralt,
favorite
but he's
childhood
terribly
show
dumb,
growing
and I
up?
love him. I love that for you. Who did what now, huh?
What was your favorite childhood show growing up? Like cartoon, movie,
That would have
TV
been
show.
either Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon Ball was fantastic.
or Yu-Gi-Oh! In all its iterations. Though most
I guess that makes
specifically-
sense. You even have a Yu-Gi-Oh card on your character.
Not only that, in the background of my face cam, I have my dual disc from when I was a kid with
Oh,
a couple of my cards on my deck.
excellent.
I'm actually rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds right now. It is one of my favorite shows.
I feel like the VTuber brain rot has eaten into my soul because I almost said Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's nuts. But anyways, Myth says that he used to watch Prehistoric Park religiously. I'm not sure what that is. I wonder if that's an English show.
Haven't seen it either. Sounds like a knockoff Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right. But I think it might be a TV show, like a children-friendly version.
Maybe.
I loved Dragon Ball growing up. I also really enjoyed Power Rangers. I think the dinosaur one was my favorite.
Can I? My face.
Oh, you can climb on this thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah, Power Rangers was fun. I don't remember much from it, just because I was.
I'm not gonna lie, me neither. But I loved it.
I stopped
It
watching
was
it
good.
after a while, but yeah, it was a fun. It was a
I
fun
mean,
show.
it does get rather formulaic after a while, right?
A little bit. But that's
Hold on. Myth is describing what it is. It's a zoo
Is that the
documentary,
car
but the guy
one?
travels back and captures
The what? Yu-Gi-Oh!
dinosaurs to take
5Ds?
back to
Yeah,
the
card games on
Okay, I
motorcycles.
see. I suppose that makes sense. We had in Canada we had Zaboomafoo, which had. Did you watch it as a child? I remember.
I didn't watch
watching
it,
quite a bit
but
of it.
I've heard of it. I just love the name.
The memes. It's a good show.
It's just, it's got a
also,
funny name.
It does.
Danny Phantom.
Oh, and
is good.
Danny Phantom, yeah, Invader Zim.
At some point, I want to commission an art piece of me as Danny Phantom, or just like, a Phantom Crow.
In the style or as Danny, like.
It doesn't have to be in the style. Just like, a Danny Phantom-esque. Like, it's still me, but with, like, the Danny Phantom outfit, but with, like, a C on my chest instead of a D.
I see.
And yellow instead of green.
Yeah.
That's my color.
It's like your Danny Phantom OC.
Yeah,
Or your
pretty much.
self-insert character, yeah.
More or less.
That's one of the things I do enjoy about VTubing is just the amount of... And there's no reason that facecam streamers can't also indulge as you are showing evidence of that.
Yeah.
It's the vast amount of art and the imagination that comes from it.
I only wish that I had more money so I could commission more artists, because I am an art whore. I want all of it.
I fully understand. Let's see. Yes. So I really enjoyed Dragon Ball. I enjoyed Dragon Ball Z quite a bit, but looking back on it now as an adult, I think Dragon Ball was better.
I still like Z better, partly because that's what I grew up with, but also just because
Oh, of course.
I like big over-the-top fights. I like the extreme battles, the multi-episode combat.
Charging up.
Yeah,
Charging up for 3 episodes.
Yeah, the over-the-top screams, like Vegeta's final flash. Just everything Vegeta. Vegeta is my favorite. He is one of my all-time favorite characters. Vegeta is the coolest.
I didn't like him at first, but he did get better as time went on.
As a villain, I thought he was cool. As a hero, I thought he was cool. And, like, just everything is great. His final flash is fantastic. His self-sacrifice explosion against Boo, like that will never not be cool.
And so I have a question for you. How did you feel about the live-action movie?
We don't talk about that.
I watched it with Basil recently.
We don't talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. It didn't happen. It doesn't exist. Discard that from your memory. You were on drugs.
I see.
Basil
So not a fan.
clearly spiked your drink, whatever it was you were drinking, and you went on a trip. I just hope you
Incredible.
packed your bags.
I did not.
Well, that's why it was a bad
I packed
trip.
a PowerWash gun. And apparently an unlimited supply of water.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm beginning
can-
to see the limitations of this structure.
Yeah, you can jump off it.
Yeah, there's no fall damage, but I don't know.
Oh god,
My
could you
knees.
imagine if there was fall damage in this game?
In this game.
That would suck. That's like, I think I die from fall damage more
think
than
I'm trapped.
anything else.
Oh, there we are. In games?
Yeah. Except for,
Not-
death because of my hubris. If I
Right.
pick a fight that I very clearly do not stand a chance in. Which I do a lot. Did you ever play Breath of the Wild? Or
I have
see anyone
not.
play it?
I want to play it. So I have the game,
Mhm.
right? But when did it come out?
2016.
2016. So that
Or
was
17. I lied. 2017.
so did it come out for both the Wii U as well as the Switch? I think it was
Yes.
one of the first Switch games. If I'm not
Correct. It was a launch title
mistaken.
for the Switch and the last Zelda game for the Wii U.
Okay, yes. So I did own that game, and I recently did get it. But no, I have not played it. I've been refraining from watching playthroughs so that I can experience it myself.
Fair. Well, I won't have any...
I heard it's a very good one though.
Yes, it is fantastic, and I love it. I'm currently working through completing a 100% completionist run of it, which takes a while. But that's what my my 24-hour stream is going to be next Friday. Friday? Saturday. Next Saturday. I'm going to be doing
I see.
a 24-hour stream of Breath of the Wild to finish the game. Self-insert aside, it is a very fun game. Without getting into spoilery details, I decided very, very early on that I was going to pick a fight with a field boss that I had no business fighting because it's supposed to be meant for later in the game, and
As you do.
I got my ass handed to me for about an hour before I finally beat it, but I refused to stop until I beat it.
Ah.
I've also decided to make this a 3-heart run
Where you don't
playthrough.
lose any.
where I don't
don't
gain
lose
any
any
hearts.
Oh, you don't gain any hearts, right? Because
Right.
you get the heart containers, right?
I only have 3 hearts, and that's where it stays.
Oh, best of luck to you.
Beaten every boss but Ganon. I have beaten all of of both DLCs. Really, I just have to collect a couple of things, and then I'm done.
Ah,
I'm good. I'm good to go.
excellent.
Zelda's, like... I make a lot of self-deprecating jokes, as, you know, we are wont to do, but Zelda is one of the few games where I can genuinely and proudly say I am very good at the game. Just any Zelda game. I am a Zelda guy.
All right. I'm just going to read something chat, and I will be right back.
Yeah, go for it. Monsters Home for Imaginary Friends was a good show. Did they ever, like, have a proper conclusion for that, or did they just finally scrap it?
All right, I'm back. Question for you then.
Answerable.
What is your favorite Zelda game of all of them?
I bounce back and forth between Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. They're both
All right.
fantastic, but for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it really just kind of depends on what I'm playing and what mood I'm in as to what I consider the best game.
My favorite is Wind Waker.
Wind Waker's good.
It's just...
Do you know Neff?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you know Neff? Nephistopheles?
No.
He's a VTuber. He and I are doing a couch co-op playthrough where he sits and watches and listens, and I play through the game. of Wind
I
Waker.
see. So primarily you have him on your stream then?
Yeah. I
Okay.
stream it. He's just there to help provide commentary, a la Game Grumps style, more or less.
Ah, that's a good way to do it actually, because for a lot of first-person games, I do kind of wish to have that sort of consistent company.
Mhm. I, at some point, will do a different, like, I'll replay through Wind Waker another day whenever I finish with this, because I don't know if you know or not, the GameCube version actually has a, like, somewhat co-op capability.
Does it now?
Yeah. So on the GameCube, there was an item
can-
that you could get.
Oh, it's the tingle
yeah,
thingy.
yeah, the Tingle Tuner.
Yes, I actually got that. I got the attachment as well as the Game Boy Advance SP. I got it specifically to do that.
Yeah, I have it somewhere, and I want to do it with my buddy Snake's Box.
Ah, I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be absolute chaos, and I intend to have a special redeem just for that stream, where chat can redeem to make him do whatever action that they want him to do, be it blow me up or make me fly or just waste my money for no reason. Just
Will
to
you be
add a
in
little
person for
spice.
this then?
Yes, yeah, we will be doing it in person. He will be off
Ah.
camera because he is VTuber and doesn't want his face shown. I will be on camera, and we'll just have 2 mics set up.
Excellent.
It'd be fun. That's probably...
Best of luck with that. Also, I might need to ask you about that because I've always struggled having 2 mics. Because the first one will tend to pick up stuff and then it will echo. I've never been able to successfully do an in-person collaboration before. So I'll have to ask you about your setup.
Don't have it set up right now.
But when you do...
Yeah, when I do, it's probably going to be a year at least before I end up doing it.
Alright.
But yeah, I can send you, like, photos of what I have set up.
Excellent.
A lot of sound dampening. That's really what it comes down to. I have sound panels everywhere. I have sound panels behind me. I have sound panels in front of me. I have sound panels across my fucking room. More sound panels you have, the better. But also having a good pop filter and then just good audio, like, filters on OBS and whatnot.
If you don't mind me asking, what is your microphone?
I have... Do I have the box? Yes. I have a Shure SM7B. It is an XLR mic. Neff has the same mic, so... I had a different Shure. I don't remember what it was. I had like an $800 Shure that broke.
Oh no.
Yeah, and to fix it would cost me $500. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get a new microphone, and I will fix it someday when I have just $500 to throw at it. So that is a far future.
I have a Shure
problem.
microphone as well, but I don't think it's the. It's definitely not the $800 one.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna drop $800 again.
That's fair.
The SM7B was 500. Yeah.
I think that might be the one that I have. I'm not entirely sure. But I have it currently using the USB hookup. I don't have the...
Okay, yours would be different than mine then, because mine doesn't have a USB hookup. It is strictly XLR.
I have the... Mine has both capabilities. It has the XLR as well as the other one. But the thing with the XLR is I don't have a box to feed it through, so I plug it directly into the computer.
Yeah, I have one that I'm borrowing from my brother-in-law, but at some point I want to get a Go XLR, because it doubles as the mix amp for the mic to provide phantom power and whatnot, as well as just like an audio studio thing, so I can adjust sounds and whatnot, have sound effects, whatever. It's very cool, but it also runs almost $600, so I have not bought it yet.
Yeah, I think before I upgrade anything, I'll have to get a better computer first. Right now, I'm running on a 8-year-old machine. It was a very good gaming computer for its time, but it's definitely shown its age.
I mean, you and I are in the same boat. I built my rig 7 years ago, and it has died on me once. My hard drives gave in.
Yes! No, my motherboard. My motherboard died. I had to replace that, but everything else has been alright.
I'm worried that something else is going to give out soon, so I am in the process of making a new computer. I have bought...
Don't forget to back up everything. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I learned that lesson the hard way.
Oh no.
I have currently in my possession the case, the motherboard, the processor, the RAM, the GPU, and an M.2 hard drive. Or solid state.
So what do you still need?
I still need the power source, the CPU cooler, operating system, and that's it? Yeah, just those 3. Problem is, that's still gonna set me back another, like, anywhere between $400 and $600.
Oh, no doubt.
So, I gotta wait for my next paycheck. And then I would like to get a PCIe Elgato for just better console streams. Because I have a regular Elgato right now, but there's limitations as far as, you know, USB versus M2 stuff. So, if I can swing it, if I can afford it, then I will grab that as well. But time will tell. Depends on how hard I get hit by bills.
I see.
Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons is a fun game. I've only ever played them once. Sorry, I was reading a
Oh, that's alright.
thing from Basil.
Oh, is he in your chat?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, Basil and Myth have been bouncing back and forth
Ah,
between
that
us.
makes sense.
And Linky. They've all been bouncing around. Hit us against one another.
I would hope not.
I'm on to you three.
I think I'm less skilled with the gun.
It's fine. I'm sure you'd handle fine in a fight.
In a fight, possibly. I do go to the gym, although I am in a lot of pain right now because of that.
Okay, I have the world's worst knees because of sports injuries. So,
Oh no.
in an actual
See, I was
fight,
fortunate enough not to do sports when I was younger, but unfortunately that means that I don't have the muscle bases that a lot of people who have been more active in their childhood.
the only thing that I really have to show from sports is really good agility and really good dodging skills. Like, I've got good
I feel like
footwork.
that's important. Yeah.
'Cause I
Did you play
played-
soccer as a child?
I did.
Ah.
I've got them fancy feet.
Yeah, as a child I played mostly video games.
I mean, that too. Couldn't even begin to tell you the amount of hours I've sunk into different games.
I only, as an only child when I was young, I mostly had Nintendo systems.
I also had every Nintendo system. But I had a couple of siblings.
Ah.
What's that? Are you spinny? You're not spinny. Where's spinny? They're spinny.
What does the spinny actually do? I never use it.
It's just a laser beam, but it covers a little bit more surface area because of the rotation. I use it when I'm trying to get tight spots or
Ah.
particularly difficult things
I'm
like
seeing
rust.
I'm seeing the merit of using it now.
Yeah. It's also just fun to have. You are. So, tell me, what is one of your favorite games from your childhood that is like an obscure one?
An obscure one. I don't really know about any obscure ones, but I played Tales of Symphonia quite a bit as a child because I did not have Final Fantasy. So it was my first foray into JRPGs.
That's fair.
There's a lot of games in that series. They're all Tales of.
Mm-hmm.
So Tales of Assyria and things like that. Tales of the Abyss.
Yeah. Tales of Symphonia and whatnot. That's fair.
Yeah, that one was was the one that I played the most. I think that might be the only thing, because everything else I played was Zelda, Mario, and you know, I played quite a bit of Animal Crossing too. Mostly during winter break, and then I never touched it again.
Idiot. There was a game on Sega Dreamcast that I loved. It was my JRPG that I played, because I didn't have any Final Fantasies outside of 1, 2, and 7 when I was a kid. But it was called Evolution, or the series was called Evolution. There was Evolution World of Sacred Device, Evolution 2 A Far Off Promise, and Evolution Worlds, which is kind of like a composite game of the two that was on GameCube. And it is It is not great, I will admit. It's very rough around the edges, but I love it to death.
That's alright.
So whenever I think of JRPGs, that is always the one I think of, and I still go back to it every once in a while.
Yeah, it's the fond memories that it elicits.
It's difficult trying to get one of these.
It is, especially since
Joints.
this one moves.
There's a lot of tight spaces. You gotta crawl around the chassis.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely challenging, that's for sure.
I wonder if they'll ever come out with a PowerWash Sim VR.
That would be fun, but also I imagine it would be kind of difficult, right? Because you would have to stand up and crawl
Yeah. Well, I
and
mean,
crouch.
that's kind of the idea.
Mm-hmm.
A lot easier to
Get a workout in.
get those tight spaces because, you know, you can actually manipulate instead of just stand, crouch, lay down.
True.
A lot more control and maneuverability. Gonna need the ladder to get the rest of the tail, I think. I think I can get it all
Oh,
from the
yes.
inside.
You might need it. Feel free to take it if you
Nah.
require. I've been using it mostly
Actually, I might be able to get up here.
just by jumping.
Yeah, with a little bit of parkour action. See? Stand on this. Yes, I can. Jump, 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 jump. Maybe. Am I stuck? I might be stuck. Okay.
You don't look like it.
I'm not stuck. I just didn't quite stick my landing, but I can. Yeah, there we go. Alright, got it. Cool. I don't need no ladder.
It's parkour.
I'm a crow. I can fly on my own.
Oh yes, so I did want to ask you about this. Why did you pick a crow? And was that what you went with even when you were making videos?
Yeah, so Crow has been my nickname since childhood. The name stems from Crow Hogan from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
Oh, I see.
So, when I decided to become a YouTuber, I fell.
I see.
It's okay, I can get the rest. When I decided to become a YouTuber, I knew that Crow had to be part of the name. The rest of it is kind of circumstantial. Kind of came up with it.
The bird cannon? I
Yeah.
see.
Just because I started during a time when there was a lot of YouTubers that had 3-part names. What did I just do?
Ah.
So it's like, my name has to have 3 parts to it. CrowBirdCannon sounds cool, so that's what I'm going with.
I see.
And the name just stuck. I thought about changing it when I shifted to be a Twitch streamer, but eventually Perseus and Snake talked me down out of it, and I just left it as CrowBirdCannon.
Hmm.
There we go. What about you? Tell me the origins
Oh,
of
well,
your name.
So, actually, ZhaJirou is Mandarin Chinese for fried chicken. Are you okay? Oh, I don't think you expected that. A lot of people don't know this.
No. No, that is the furthest thing from what I expected, but my god, that is so funny. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
No.
Oh,
No, that's the intended effect.
oh, that is fantastic. I love that.
So the reason I went by that was because when I started, which was about a year ago,
Uh-huh.
Genshin was somewhat popular, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have the Zhonglis, you have the I don't know who the other people are, but you have the
Nobody else matters.
Zhonglis.
It's just Zhongli.
Anyway, so you have names like that. And then so I was like, you know what's really funny when people would just randomly make up Chinese words and get those tattooed and you would get something like chicken fried rice or something like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of that's sort of the what I was going for was like the chicken fried rice but as a VTuber. So people would be like, "Oh, what a cool Asian name," but it's just fried chicken.
That is amazing.
But that's literally the name. And I've had a few people who did pick up on it, and they were like, "No," and I was like,
No.
"Yes, yes."
That is amazing. Are you a Zhongli main in Genshin?
I actually don't play Genshin at all.
Really?
Yeah, I just liked the red and black hair, and I thought that it was funny, but that was quite it. I mostly play Final Fantasy 14 as my game of choice,
Mhm.
my time sink,
That is
and
fair.
yeah, that's about it. I
Zhongli.
do commend people who manage to play both. I know quite a few people who play both Final Fantasy 14 and Genshin, and I
Mhm.
wonder how they have time for anything else in their life because both of them are incredible time sinks.
Yeah. I am off and on with Genshin. I'll play it for like a couple of weeks and then I'll stop playing it for like 2 months and then I'll pick it right
Ah,
back up. It's really just a matter of if there's any good characters in the banner that draws me back.
I see.
And then once I have what I
But yeah,
want, I
the
disappear.
But yeah, so that's kind of where the name came from. Was I was like, oh, it kind of sounds like a bullshit Genshin name, but it's actually not.
So what about the crow
And
theming?
oh, well, birds, fried chicken, that kind of stuff. I've always been a fan of birds. I've felt an affinity for birds, and crows are wise storytellers.
Yeah,
And so, as someone who wants to do reading and telling stories, I felt that that sort of fit what I was going for. So, aside from the name, everything else I did take quite seriously. I just thought that the name was funny.
it definitely was.
Yes. But I have been asked a few times. And yeah, so I mostly go by Jiro, which is chicken. Actually, more specifically, poultry. Jaw is fried.
It is that is fantastic.
I'm glad that I could amuse you with my name. That is my intention. How do you get this thing? There's so many tiny pieces in here.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna need the ladder.
maybe. What am I
Not the
missing?
step ladder, the regular ladder.
Ah, there you are. There we go. Okay. I feel like there was a story that I was gonna tell. Like I started to say it before stream, and then I was like, I'm gonna save that for stream, and then I forgot.
Oh, yes. The story that you were going to tell was how you came about with your name, and that was what I was asking you before we started.
Was it?
And yeah, why I was asking you why you have a VTuber sort of art for your Twitter and things like that,
Yeah.
but you're a
Okay.
face streamer.
Yeah. Okay.
But we did cover that part.
I'm a senile old man. I'm forgetting things. Hi.
See, you
Bye.
keep so the reason that I keep thinking that you're older than me is because you keep referring to yourself as a senile old man, and I'm older than you, and I do not see myself as a senile old
Yeah.
man.
It. I don't know. It's just a like. It's just a fun thing that I like to do because it pokes fun at a lot of my friends. Some are younger, some are older, but it gets a lot of them like fired up. Just saying like
I see.
you're not an old man. Um,
Not yet. I mean, you can call yourself whatever you like.
Well, so when I at
Are we
both.
not done? Sorry, what is still left? We're 99% and nothing is glowing from. Oh, there you go.
So there's little things here and there.
Joints, yeah.
At work, my nickname, because of how bad my knees are, is Grandma Knees.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I hope you do find time to take it easy. I find that mildly concerning. Also, do you then like you would like me to refer to you as Crow then?
Yeah. Crow is what I
Okay,
usually go by.
I see.
Yeah, please don't call me Grandma Knees.
I
Well,
will. I shall resist the temptation. It is ever so great.
it is a
Uh,
fantastic nickname, I will admit. It's very funny. But yeah, no, Crow is what I go by. There we go. There's that. Head casing. That's not... I guess it is. There... It must be on the underside.
so you are a
Ah!
man named Crow,
Yes.
and I am a crow named Fried Chicken. We
Something
just
like
need a
that, yeah.
we need a fried chicken now named Man.
I can do one kind of close. So
Oh,
there was a game that I decided to do a YouTube video on with Snake's Box called Crispy Chicken. I found it on
ah.
Steam. I knew nothing about it. I wanted
And
to...
it's not the Colonel Sanders dating sim. This is a game called Crispy Chicken.
Yeah, this game is from like 2015 or something, maybe 2016. But I decided for my thumbnail for that, back before he was a VTuber and was less pressed about hiding his face, I made the thumbnail was a fried chicken with his face like photoshopped onto it. So it was
Oh,
a fried man, fried
I
chicken
do
man.
wonder. I do wonder why people don't want to show their face. If it's stigma related or if people
Um, it I think it obviously it varies
because
from
I
person to
see a lot of
person.
yeah because I was going to say I see a lot of VTubers do face reveals.
For some people, I'm sure it's anxiety or fear or just dislike about their appearance.
Hmm.
For some people, it's wanting privacy, you know, for
Yeah,
people
that's the
not...
reason. That's the main reason that I do it is for privacy concerns. Oh, I'm trying to see what it still could be, and it's the claw wrist.
Yeah, the wrist...
Once again it's being somewhat
It's just the wrist
cryptic.
joints. We
Ah, I
need
see.
this mammoth.
Oh, the thing that I've been standing on.
Yeah. Let's put you right there. I can go up and get him. Yeah, like I said, I modeled my creative career after Markiplier, so
Hmm.
I was never concerned about people knowing what I look like. Because it's like, well, if he
Of
does it,
course.
then I'm sure it's okay, so I'll do it. There we go. Got them all.
Excellent.
But also,
Is it going to automatically put us into the next level then?
I have to manually do it. If you hit
I see.
escape, or at least for me, it shows a time lapse of our progress.
Oh, I don't get that because I'm not the host. But that's alright. I still get the money.
It's very fun.
It is.
Next one. Here we are. Seventh Heaven. This is the one from the thumbnail. This is the big job.
Not the first heaven.
Oh boy.
Not the second heaven. Oh, this looks like a crime scene.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, I still have the prompt for lower arm, and it's not going away.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well,
It doesn't have that for me. It's just your life now.
that's
Would you
just
like
there
to get
now.
out of it and reload?
Nah, it's fine.
All right.
Holy God. Fuck. Don't
What?
press tab.
Why?
You'll be blinded by yellow.
I see. I understand. Well, it's time to bring out the larger sparrow then.
Yeah.
At least for now. I like how you instinctively did it, knowing that the entire room is covered in grime.
Yeah, look, okay, look, I
Muscle
didn't,
memory.
yeah, I didn't think. My
Yeah.
brain was like, this will be fine. We need to see where the grime is on the little Gatling gun.
Oh.
Sometimes I have the object permanence of a toddler. That's just ADHD for you.
I understand. One of the biggest struggles. Do you mind if I talk about mental health stuff?
No, go for it.
Okay. One of the largest struggles beyond just talking about object permanence as people with ADHD, one of the other tenets of it is emotional permanence. And that actually becomes very difficult
Yeah.
to manage. Because it's sort of like if someone is upset at you, it's difficult to remember that other person, that there's many positive interactions as well, especially when you pair it up with the rejection sensitive dysphoria.
Boy, do I get that.
Yeah.
I won't go into details, but that ties very strongly into what caused my mental collapse and subsequent break from streaming.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm very glad that you're doing better.
Yeah.
And I hope that you have security functions in place for when things get bad again.
It's one of my most common things I say. I'm a work in progress. One of the things that I like it started in probably August, I think, or maybe October, one of those months. I don't remember now.
That's alright.
It just kept getting worse as time went on, but the straw that broke the camel's back was in February, I want to say. Something happened.
So quite recent.
Yeah, something happened that was just emotionally catastrophic for me, and I had thoughts for the first time that I haven't had in a very, very, very long time, and that scared me. So it's like, I need help. This needs to stop. Something needs to change now.
Well,
So,
I'm glad that you were able to recognize that.
yeah, it's unfortunate that I had to go through one of the darkest periods of my life, but I am now in therapy. I have medication. I'm seeing a doctor about all of it.
Well, that's great.
So,
And especially for someone with ADHD, it's very difficult to get those sorts of supports in place because the entire medical system is very difficult to navigate as someone who does have ADHD.
especially
It's
here in
almost
the
like
States.
yes, it's almost like you need to not have ADHD to get treatment for ADHD.
Well, it also doesn't help that I had never been diagnosed with any of it.
Right.
The depression, make you math cry, and also hello. Depression, ADHD. I was never diagnosed when I was a child, so I never got help. So I've just been trying to tough it out my entire life until very, very recently. So I had never realized until I was talking with my therapist just how destructive ADHD really can be.
Oh, of
for your
course.
life.
Right, because a lot of things, the depression, the anxiety, those are actually they're not the main problems, they're the symptoms of untreated ADHD.
Yeah. So it's a thing that I'm working on. I have medication for it, but at this point I've determined I need a stronger dosage. I need to up the dosage because it is. I've been on it for almost a month now, and it is doing jack shit. So I missed you. I missed you too, buddy.
Well, I'm glad
Appreciate
that
you
you were
being
able to
here.
get the help that you needed.
Yeah.
And I do want to say that, I don't know you very well, but I'm proud of you for going through with it. It's not easy.
I appreciate that. It's not done yet. Obviously, I still have a very
Of course,
long way
it's
to
a
go.
journey. Yes. But, how do you say that? Taking the first step is definitely one of the hardest parts.
Yes, it is. God, it really is. But yeah, that's me.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course. I don't even know what we were talking about initially.
Oh, we were talking about how you pressed tab and blinded yourself.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna take a 50 steps back.
Yes,
You'd
of
mentioned
course.
podcasts.
Of course.
The podcast my buddies and I have that we're on break from, we call it the sidebar because all three of us have a tendency to do just that. Like we'll go on side tangents or sidebars in any conversation. Doesn't matter what we're doing. It is a very, very constant thing with all three of us. So Perseus was like, let's just make a podcast about this where we just talk and then go off on tangents, and that is the show. We were like, sure.
Well, excellent. I'll have to ask you for a link next time.
I need to...
Because I do like to listen to podcasts while I do chores. I find it's an interesting way to preoccupy myself.
It doesn't have any sort of, separate link yet, just because I haven't had the finances to get it set up. And also, because my computer exploded, all of the previous episodes are gone.
Oh.
They should put Mario and Flood in this game. That would be a fantastic... They should have done that with the movie! Sorry.
Oh, did you watch the new Mario movie?
No, I haven't seen it. I kind of want to. I've heard it's good for... it's definitely a kid movie, but I hear it's pretty good, all things considered.
I mean, so was Sonic, and I really enjoyed that. I think they did a fantastic job.
Loved Sonic. Both Sonic movies were amazing.
Yeah, they were incredible. And honestly, no one suspected that Jim Carrey would come out of hiatus and deliver one of the best performances in his career in a Sonic movie. Nobody expected that.
I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sure how on board I was going to be with Jim Carrey Eggman. Now,
right? Neither was I.
I can't see Eggman without it.
Right? He delivered such an amazing performance. Because, he kind of had that sort of style when he was doing well, before he went on his mental health sort of break.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't seen a delivery like that in quite some time, so it was a joy to see.
He had fun with it. That's really what it came down to.
I heard that he's not going to be coming back for the third one, though, which is a bit unfortunate.
Correct. He has retired.
I understand.
Which, I mean, that's also just Jim Carrey's thing. He doesn't do...
Also...
He doesn't do rule of threes.
Of course. And also, it's good to go off on a high note, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. It'd be interesting to see how they do the third movie without him.
Well, I'm sure there are other villains that they could capitalize on. I don't think they're going to recast him. I think that would feel kind of wrong.
No. They're done with Eggman. I think just from the teaser, it looks like his henchman, whatever his name was, I don't remember. It looks like they're propping him up to be the successor, the next big bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see.
That makes sense.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna be there to watch it in theaters because I love the movies.
That was the last thing I saw in theaters. I do have to say that watching cinema in theaters, there's nothing really quite like it. I really do like that experience. I know that you can stream movies, but it's not the same.
It's really not. I actually just went to the theaters on Saturday to watch the D&D movie.
Oh, how was that? I heard really good reviews.
It is fantastic. It is very funny. It does feel like a D&D campaign. It feels like if somebody homebrewed a campaign after just reading The Hobbit.
Oh,
that's what it felt like to me.
So how some D&D campaigns feel like all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was very fun. Highly recommended.
We've made some progress, but I feel like this place is still gonna light up like Christmas when I hit tab.
You can hit tab. It's good now.
Not this corner.
Not in that corner.
Not this corner.
I've been staring down to avoid the temptation of pressing tab and blinding myself. So I've just been focusing on the little things, tables, chairs, and whatnot. So
I understand, and I've been using big swaths to try and make it so that when you inevitably press tab, you're not going to blind yourself.
I see. This feels like a totally different room. Play the pinball machines? I don't think you can. That would be cool. No. doesn't react. I thought Tifa was just sending me a message about that because I was shooting the thing, but apparently not. I actually went to a barcade a few weeks ago and played some
Oh,
pinball
yeah?
for a little bit. I am not as good at pinball as I used to be.
I'm going to a barcade this weekend, actually, for one of my friend's birthdays, so I'm looking
Nice.
forward to that.
Have fun.
I'm really enjoying this whole, gaming and geeky things being more mainstream.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like it because they're like, "Oh, I was bullied by it and now it's okay." But, I'm never one for gatekeeping that sort of thing, and
Yeah. It's just,
nerddom should not be gatekept by suffering as a child. That's not,
I don't
yeah.
understand why people will get upset over things like, oh, I had to go through, like, if something was a hardship for you growing up, why would you be upset if that becomes no longer a hardship for someone else? Like,
Well, I
wouldn't you
think
want
because they
someone
feel
to...
like it that the hardship that they went through meant something,
I
you know.
guess, like, to
I
a
think it's
degree,
a
I
very
get it.
it's a
It is.
narrow-minded way of viewing it for sure.
It is. It absolutely is. I don't know. I just, like, I want the world to be a better place, and I am of the mindset if I went through something bad, I don't want somebody to go through that. That's
Of
part of
course.
why I became a, content creator, because I didn't have many friends or much, in my life to make me happy. Like, my childhood was not especially great. So I want to try and be that person for other people that Markiplier was for me. Like, I want to try and be able to provide some form of happiness, some smiles to people so they don't have to go through that, you know?
How did you speaking of Markiplier, how did you feel about when he came out and told everyone that he had ADHD as well,
Are you
as
talking
someone who has ADHD?
are you talking about the clip that's been making its rounds on social media recently?
Yes.
I I love it for the pure and simple fact I think it is really funny how apparent his ADHD is in his description because of how many
Mhm.
different like side branches he went off. He was in no way clear and concise. And
No.
it was fantastic and just a perfect example of ADHD in action.
Of course. But I think I was mostly asking about how does
Please
it
play
feel
some
to
music.
have someone that you look up to and one of your favorite creators have something that you're also struggling with?
I mean, I've known for a long time that he's had it. Like, he's been upfront and talked about it for a very long time. But it just, it does feel good because it makes him feel more relatable.
Of
And
course.
I guess, in a way, it makes it feel justified or justifiable to me to view him as, like, an idol and an inspiration to me to model like what I do after what he does
Right.
because he goes through what I go through, so if he can do it then I can too. And this,
Exactly, exactly. That's what I was trying to get at without, putting words in your mouth.
yeah, and for, sorry to bring sadness into it, it's the
No, of
same way
course.
that
Go ahead.
I feel about acting and voice acting because I got into voice acting and just regular stage acting because of Robin Williams. And
Mhm.
for as upsetting as it is that he's gone, knowing that he struggled so bad with depression and mental illness is kind of, in a way, reassuring to me, I guess.
Of course, because it means that people with the same struggles as you can still succeed in various parts of their career and their lives, and that
Yeah.
it's something that you can, also work with.
It still hurts that he's gone, but
Of course.
yeah.
But you appreciate the parts of himself that he shared with you while he was still here.
Yeah. I wouldn't be who I am today and I wouldn't do what I do if it weren't for him.
Of course. And I hope that drives you in your journey as well. To sort of, carry on his legacy.
Yeah. That's something that I've definitely struggled with. For a while there, I kind of lost sight of why I've been doing what I do. I One of the things that I always tell any new person that was a prospective Twitch streamer, like any of my friends or people that I've chatted with who come through my chat and whatnot, who've said that they want to be a Twitch streamer, the biggest thing I've always told them is don't let the numbers consume you. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't let that rule why you do what you do. And I ended up falling victim to the very thing that I was warning against. And I lost sight of why I wanted to do things.
Right, because I actually remember that quite distinctly because you and a few of your other friends were all trying to reach the same goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you felt quite down when they did and you didn't quite meet the numbers that you wanted to at the time.
Yeah, because I had a very
You had a
specific idea of how things
And
should have gone.
if you don't mind me saying, the number that you had was very ambitious, and you got quite close. So that's even though if you didn't reach it exactly, it's still admirable that you were able to get as close as you did.
Yeah, well, because for the first half of 2022, like, there was a lot of progress. Like, I saw numbers shoot up because I got to meet a lot of people in a very short period of time. But
As you do when you start.
once
Yeah.
that balanced out, then things started to plateau, and my brain was only fixated on one thing. So it was like, well, it's not going the way it should be, so obviously you're doing bad. And
Hmm.
I lost sight of what was important, why I was doing things.
Hmm.
It's-
I think we made pretty good progress. Oh, but once you hit tab, you still. Well, I will have to say it's safe to hit tab now.
Yes, yeah, this is much, much better than it was before. Is there a way? I wonder. No. Damn it. Okay. I was trying to see if I could jump from the table to get up onto the trim.
I see. I feel like you might have to use the ladder for this one.
I mean, that's probably the... yeah, I probably should. We have the step stool? Where's the step stool?
I know the ladder's here. I don't know where the step stool might be.
They really not give us a step stool? They did not give us a step stool. What the heck? You'd think they'd just give us a step stool.
Especially since this is an indoor run, but you can go off, I suppose.
Now you guys have to grab toothbrushes and clean the rest by hand. Yeah, basically. That's pretty much how you've got to finish it all. Also, I just realized the press F to lift Ray's arm went away. I didn't notice
Good.
that until now. I was so
I'm glad it
fixated on
finally
talking.
did. That's alright. I feel like the power washing is sort of the background to the discussion, right?
Yeah, more or less. This is just chatting featuring PowerWash Simulator.
Exactly. Actually, Markiplier did a series about that, where he would power wash with people and speak with them about it.
Yeah,
It was very inspiring. I watched the one that he did with Matt Pat quite a few times.
there's a lot of good stuff in it. I go back and I watch it every once in a while. I might go back and rewatch them, actually, now that we're talking about it. 'Cause it has been a little bit. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast? Or have you ever wanted to do?
I did actually. When I first started content creation, I did interviews and I wanted to do podcast style things, but whenever I did podcasts, it always felt like I was trying my best to highlight the other person, and I never felt like I was ever the focus.
Mhm.
And eventually I got somewhat burnt out by it. So I thought, even though I'm doing a lot of collaborations now, most of my advertisement and the things that I talk about are still my own experiences.
Yeah,
So that's sort of been the path that I've taken for this.
that makes sense.
Because yeah, if you do primarily interviews, you know, you don't actually find out too much about the interviewer.
Yeah,
But
the general focus
yeah,
is on the guest, which makes sense.
exactly. And I feel like I would do a much better job highlighting other people once I have some sort of platform to showcase them on.
Yeah.
So that's my focus right now. We like to chill at a cafe. They're just like me.
This is a snazzy little place. Be fun to hang out
It
at.
is.
There we go. Get you. Get it all. What am I missing? That's what I'm missing. There we go. Gotcha. Can I have... No, not really. I'm up here. Should probably get this while I'm up here.
I need a new Discord reactive. As you can see, the one I'm using is from Christmas.
Yeah. I don't have any like, real official one. The one that I have now is an art piece that was made by my friend Neek. He made an art piece of me for I think this one was for my birthday, if I remember correctly.
Oh. It's not difficult to change it into a reactive. You just need another version where the mouth is open.
Yeah.
It's quite easy, actually. And I found that people, when they know it's a PNG tuber, they tend to mark it up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell the person, you know, I'm a Twitch streamer, going to use it to stream, and they're not someone that's specifically a VTuber artist, and you tell them what it's for, they're generally pretty alright with you using it for that.
Yeah. Well, I just like I was like, this is a really cool thing. I can use this for my reactive because before this I was using a Zelda piece. It's
Ah,
like,
I see.
do you by chance have a version of this without the background? She's like, as a matter of fact, I do. So now I have
Well,
it.
nice. Your friend is very good at art.
Yeah, she is immensely talented. Every single time she makes a new art piece, it feels like it's better than the last. So it's amazing to watch her just get better and better each time.
Does she stream her progress as well, or is she primarily an artist?
She's just an artist right now. She's been thinking about becoming a VTuber,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, she could certainly draw her own,
yeah.
which would be good.
Oh,
I feel like being able to draw your own VTuber is both a blessing and a curse. I have a few friends who are VTubers, and they have come out with new designs constantly.
yeah,
Because once you have the ability to improve on things, you tend to just make changes all the time.
as new ideas pop into your head.
Exactly.
What else? What else am I missing? Okay, that apparently counted. Cool, whatever. It's amazing and frustrating how sometimes things will have like enough grime on it to cover a person, but it'll be like, nope, blink, you're done. And other
Mm-hmm.
times it's like you're missing a single pixel of dirt and therefore it doesn't count.
Right, because they scale it to how small or big the piece is.
It's
Unfortunately. I don't know why they decided to do this.
Yep. There we go. steel beams? Might be. They are. Okay. You can get different soaps to be able to clean more efficiently and faster.
Yes.
I never use them.
No, neither do I. It's more satisfying to just spray it off.
I wasn't spraying that, but okay, sure. Thanks. Cool. Have a good night, Mavcry. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. I hope you rest well. No, I already got that. Okay. Is the sword here? The sword is here.
Yeah, the Cloud Sword.
Yeah. Cloud's Buster Sword. It only just occurred to me. I was like, wait a minute, this is the map that showed the sword in the thumbnail. Yeah. I didn't even think about the sword being here
Oh,
until just now.
There it is. I cleaned it earlier, and I was like, I thought you knew.
Nope.
No, you're too busy looking at the floor.
Yes. I immediately hyperfixated on the tables and stools, and that was it from there.
Well, someone needs to do detail work, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. Go.
So, what types of games do you tend to play this when it's not Zelda?
I don't know. It depends on what I'm craving. It's 9 times out of 10, it is action-adventure stuff. So things like Death's Door, or sometimes Soulsborne games.
Did you enjoy Elden Ring?
I did. I loved Elden Ring. I didn't finish it. It's something I want to go back through and finish at some point. I'm probably not going to continue streaming it, just because I am not great at the game. And also, I play it at a very weird pace.
Oh?
Sometimes I will just absolutely tear through areas, and other times I will take 50,000 years to get through an area. Just depends on if I'm hyperfixating or not.
I see.
That being said, whenever I do get back to it, and whenever I do finally make it to Millennia, that I will stream. That'll probably take an entire day, but it's gonna happen.
Hey, if you ever need another 24-hour stream idea, there you go.
Right? One of my friends, Rigel... I'm forgetting how to pronounce his name. Rig. Rig was streaming his Millennia fight, and I stayed up with him, like, watching his stream until 6 in the morning.
Wow.
Before I had to give up and go to bed, because I was dying from sleep deprivation. He apparently
Plus,
stayed
it wasn't
up
your
for...
stream. It's different to be playing and to watch someone play, for sure.
Yeah. He ended up staying up for, I think, like another hour before he finally beat it. He did beat her. Is it Rigel? This is gonna bother me, trying to remember how to pronounce his stream name.
Oh no.
Whatever, it's fine. He's part of a VTubing trio called Nova Swarm. So, who are your comfort streamers? Who are your favorite people to watch and relax to?
I don't actually know. I used to watch Markiplier.
Mm-hmm.
I actually very seldomly watch in live format because I work 40 hours a week. And so it's very difficult for me to catch streams, especially sequentially. So
Fair.
it becomes challenging for me because I really enjoy I enjoy watching people play through adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't watch streamers do it because I would only be able to catch one of them, and the next time I see it, it would be far behind. Which is very unfortunate. So, yeah, so I tend to watch Markiplier quite a bit. I used to fall asleep to his videos. And I don't really know. Right now, there's someone called the Ontario Gardener, and he's playing a game, teaching people about my current hyperfixation game, which is Played Up. So I've been watching a lot of Played Up guides.
Huh.
Generally, I tend to watch playthroughs of games that I like, so I'll play the game and then I'll fall asleep to someone giving you tips on how to play the game,
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
that'll just be my life for the next little while until one day it no longer sparks joy to me and I drop it entirely and pick up something new.
Makes sense.
And the worst part about that and having ADHD is that I don't get to control when it happens.
No, you never do.
I hate it. Because there was a time period where I was unable to finish games because it would get to the fun part, I would get stuck and I would just lose interest. And it's like, please, I would just like to finish one game, just one.
Yeah, that that's my problem. Like, if I don't hyperfixate and decide that I want to like 100% the game or something, then yeah,
Right. There has to be some sort of challenge element or something that you get stuck on, right? But if
yeah.
there's no stickiness, it's so difficult.
Otherwise, I will eventually drop the game and either come back to it way later or just never finish it at all.
Oh,
Uh,
that's so many games for me.
and I'm trying to use Twitch as a way to help with that.
Right,
Oh,
because that way you kind of feel a little bit accountable and you kind of have a routine. And
yeah.
both of those things are very helpful.
That is my current focus right now. I'm trying to complete as many games as I can that I have started
Mhm.
before the new Zelda comes out in May. Because once that comes
How are
out,
you
that is all I'm gonna stream.
how are you feeling about it? Because I have mixed reactions from people. Some people are very excited, other people feel like it's not going to be good. What are your
I
feelings?
am so excited. Uh, you have no idea the depth of my excitement.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
I cannot wait. I I managed to get a pre-order for the Tears of the Kingdom edition Switch OLED.
I was just going to bring that up. Yes, the pre-orders actually opened up last week.
Yeah, I got it from the initial wave. I have the amiibo on pre-order. I have the case on pre-order. I just gotta
Oh,
hope.
that's wonderful.
I just gotta hope that they have the controller available on launch day because I missed out on that one.
Yeah, the thing that I struggle with a lot of the time is because I didn't have a lot of consoles growing up. I only had Nintendo consoles.
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of the things that I really enjoy I missed out on, you know.
Yeah,
So a lot of these things, like the pre-orders for things, I tend to not be on the up and up for it. And unfortunately, a lot of these kinds of pre-orders and special editions come out before the game does. So for a lot of games, I'll play it, I'll really enjoy it, and be like, oh, I wish there was more gear for this, And they'll be like, oh yeah, there was, but now it's gone, and it's like 10 times the price, and I'm like, it's not worth it. So.
yeah. That that's one of the things I'm hoping that they have some collector's editions available on launch day. Like,
Mhm.
I'm hoping GameStop ends up with some extras because I missed the
Or
launch of it.
somebody just pre-ordering it and then not coming in to pick up, because that
R-
happened to Scarlet Violet and a few people.
yeah, because I missed it. Because, it went live and then sold out in a matter of seconds.
Exactly.
And I missed out on the Master Edition of Breath of the Wild, and they never
Mhm.
did a relaunch on it.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah, the fewer and fewer ones that are on sale online are like over $1,000. And I'm not gonna pay over $1,000 for the collector's edition.
Yeah, I understand.
As badly as I want the Master Sword like mini statue, it's not worth $1,000 to me.
Right, and you can get a Master Sword mini statue from many fan-made sources
Right.
without
I could probably
it being
find one
that
on
one.
Etsy and be just as happy.
Exactly.
No, when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I have already taken my vacation. I am I am taking 2 weeks off, and that is literally all I'm going to stream. From
Oh, that's going to be good because it'll be a good first look for a lot of people. I
Well,
find that I tend to watch people play games when I don't have time to myself, or if I don't have the system.
well, more than just that. So, what my plan is, it is going to be a nonstop stream. From the
Oh,
moment
that's
I
very ambitious.
from the moment I hit go live, doing the, final countdown to when the game is available, I am
Hmm.
not ending stream until we finish the game.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I will still sleep and eat and do human things, but
Will you? Or will you be able to put it down?
yeah, as much as I can while being addicted to what will be my favorite game at the moment. My hyperfixation. Um, but yeah, it is going to be a week plus long stream as I go through and at the very least stream until I beat it. Maybe try to 100% it. Depends on how much there is, like how much is involved in the game, and if I can knock it out in 2 weeks.
Makes sense.
So I'm very much looking forward to it. And also, I just kind of want to do one of those in like super endurance streams. I've never done it. I've done
I mean, what better game to do it to than a new game from your favorite franchise? I totally understand.
yeah. I've I've done a couple of 24-hour streams, like I said. I've done one 30-hour stream. Which is probably my max. I don't think I could do a 48-hour.
Have you ever slept on stream before?
I've fallen asleep on stream. Not
Ah, but not intentionally.
No, I haven't intentionally slept on stream.
I see. Will you be doing that for the Zelda?
Um,
Or will you be ending stream when you go to sleep?
what I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Like, the stream will not be ending. Like, the stream will continue endlessly. I don't know what I will put on
Ah, the floors are done nice.
during my sleep time,
Hmm.
but no, stream won't be ending. I forgot where I was going before the question. My brain. What was I saying beforehand? What were we talking about?
Oh, we were discussing the newest Zelda game, and you were talking about your ambitions with it. Um, I don't exactly recall why we started talking about Zelda. I think we were talking about the collector's editions of things.
Yeah. I had a point that I was getting to.
Was that before this or after?
That was like immediately before the question.
Oh, I see.
See? I don't remember.
I don't know. We were talking about Markiplier. You were asking me what my favorite streamers were.
I've gone too far back. I don't know. It doesn't. Whatever it is, it'll either come back to me or it won't.
Hyperfixation games.
Yeah.
We started talking about Dark Souls.
I don't know. But yeah, that game. That's all I'm gonna stream until I am done with it. So I'm trying to complete as many games beforehand as I can, just so I don't have any like real excuses or anything.
Well, I understand that.
I'm not gonna be able to finish everything that I started, but
Of course.
I want to finish as much as I can. Oh, I remember the thing. It wasn't like a point I was trying to get to. It was just a thing I was going to mention. Another thing that I've done is I've done an endurance like marathon of consecutive streams. I have streamed 28 times, 28 days in a 31-day period.
Oh, wow. Was there any special occasion?
Just for October, I was committed to streaming a horror game every day.
Wow.
The only reason that I didn't stream for 31 days is because there was a handful of days where I just couldn't. Either because I was too exhausted from work, or I was just too mentally exhausted because, mental exhaustion.
You were streaming every single other day?
Yeah. But it was fun.
It's good, right? Because the numbers, you know, beyond just having some sort of ambition around it, it's also good to be like, oh yes, look what I did.
Yeah.
This was something I accomplished.
Well, truth be told, that is there's a part of me that's kind of banking on that with this here's the kingdom thing. That word will spread of, oh, look at this guy who's streaming for 14 days straight. And
Oh, you better. Well, of course, and it's good if you advertise that as
oh yeah,
well, very widely.
I'm gonna advertise the fuck out of it. You kidding me? Like,
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
pretty much every day on Twitter and Discord and
You're
whatever
just gonna be like,
platforms, I'd be like, check out
hello,
this
I'm
thing.
once again reminding you.
Here's day 13, still going strong.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Even if it doesn't like produce anything out of the norm, it's still
At least you
gonna
got
be
to play a game that you were really excited about and
Yeah.
share that with your friends.
it's going to be a fun game that I love, but also moreover, it is a thing that I have been planning to do since they announced Tears of the Kingdom. And it'll be something that for all of my like plans and intentions I'm actually going to follow through on. And that means something because, you know, following through on something that I said I was going to do.
Of course.
Mental health be damned.
Well, I hope you don't get too burnt out by it.
I'll be fine. 14 days is nothing. Or, you know,
True, once you've
however
done,
long
you've
it
done that
takes me.
28.
In all reality, what it's probably going to end up being, I imagine the game, like Breath of the Wild, is going to be absolutely insanely massive and is going to have way more content than I could hope to 100% in one sitting. So it'll probably
Yeah.
just be, I will stream for the full 14-day period, and then when my last day comes, I'll go, I'll mop the floor with Ganon or whoever the final boss ends up being, and then I'll just continue to stream it regularly until I have 100% of the game.
Ah, I see. One moment. Welcome in, Esper. We are currently, well, I'm currently hanging out with Crow here, and he's talking about his very ambitious. How many days was it? 14-day stream of the
Tears of the
new
Kingdom?
Zelda game that will be coming out, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, something like that.
And we touched upon multiple things between mental health, childhood favorite shows. We've covered a wide variety of topics, actually.
We've just been rolling
Having
with
ADHD?
the ADHD punches, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. There was no particular agenda, but I did want to do something sort of just chatting with some sort of discussions, getting to know one another type things.
Just
I
watching.
don't tend to, yeah, and I don't tend to stream with people who I haven't spoken with this extensively, so I'm taking this opportunity to sort of speed get to know him very quickly.
Yeah,
Oh, and thank you for the hydrate.
it's like speed dating, but for streaming.
Hmm. And also, we're cleaning a bar.
Yeah. After
We've,
cleaning a
we've
giant
already
robot.
cleaned. We've cleaned a robot and 2 vehicles. This is the most normal thing we've cleaned today.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Circuit box. What am I missing? The circuit box. Fucking up. Be the uppies. There it is. Okay, got it.
What was the robot? It was what was the robot? It was some sort of
Some
scorpion.
some giant scorpion mech.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called. It was from the Final Fantasy VII remake. That's all I know. I haven't played the remake yet, so I don't know
The Final
whole lot
Fantasy
about it.
VII remake, yeah.
Yeah. I want to play the Crisis Core remake. Crisis Core is my favorite Final Fantasy game. It's technically not a mainline game. It's a prequel to 7. But it is fantastic and is one of the few video games to actually make me cry with the ending.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, specifically Crisis Core.
Ah. Which one's that one?
That is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. It was originally just on the...
But it's not Final Fantasy VI.
Correct.
Because each Final Fantasy is its own story, is that...
Correct.
Except for Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, which are connected.
Yeah, there are a handful of games that are sequels to one another, but the, like, mainline numbered ones, I don't, as far as I recall, are not connected in any way.
Ah, I see.
There's Easter eggs, like,
Isn't there
referencing
there's
past
something
ones.
like there's a Cid in every single Final Fantasy or something to that effect?
Yes, every Final Fantasy has a character named Cid.
But they're all different Cids.
I think they're all related.
Are they?
I think. I don't remember.
Related as in related to one another, or related as in like brothers?
Related as in, like, descendants of one another.
Oh, interesting.
Each Final Fantasy is farther along in time from the previous one, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think.
I mean, you can just make up stuff and I'll believe you because I've never played any of the games and I don't know anything about the series.
If I've learned anything, it's that if you say anything with enough confidence and authority, then anyone will believe it as fact. And I am a manager as my job, so it is literally my job to make up bullshit and say it with that kind of conviction.
I understand. Am I allowed to ask what you manage?
I am a manager for Kroger. Specifically, the pickup ecom department.
I see.
It is...
Was that something that kind of came out of the pandemic?
Yes, kind of. So, I've worked for Kroger technically in 2 different stints. Once for like half a year in 2018, and then again now with my current stint. I did start in 2020 because of the pandemic. Not so much because I needed extra money because of the pandemic, but because I have 3 cats, and the first cat that I got, Leon, he found me and decided that I was his dad. He was a stray, and he adopted me. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna take care of you, I need money to afford food. So it's like, I'll just go back to Kroger. I initially worked there part-time and was a manager for GameStop, where I had worked there for 5 years. But eventually, I was like, I've had enough of GameStop. It was grinding on my mental health, and it just was not the job that it used to be. So
you know what? I find that fascinating that working at a grocery store for you is better than working at a game store. You know, especially when I was younger, working at GameStop, well, that's like the gold,
yeah,
I don't know,
that was like
of
the dream.
retail. Yeah, the dream of retail, really.
Well, the problem is GameStop has changed a lot from when we were young to what it is now. The problem that I have with GameStop is everything is about the numbers. That's all that matters. Every transaction, every customer.
Which is kind of sad, right? Because when you think about GameStop and what it stood for a lot of people growing up, they were like that and Blockbuster. They were sort of people's first forays into the gaming world.
But it just everything is about the bottom dollar. That's all it is. Like, it's gotten to the point
that makes me very sad to hear that.
From my understanding, talking to my friends who are still managers there who haven't left yet, it sounds like I've gotten out just in time. It is so much like about penny pinching for them that most managers, and I'm assuming they're probably trying to work towards all of this, or this for all of them, most managers are having to be managing 2 stores now, as opposed to just 1. But, you know, without a substantial pay raise to accommodate.
Without any pay raise, I imagine.
There is a pay raise, but it's like $1.50 or something.
Right, definitely not enough to be managing 2 stores, because if they were at any other job, they would get double the pay.
Like, it's basically just barely enough to cover gas, maybe. And that's it.
That's unfortunate.
So
I'm glad you got out in time then.
yeah.
One of the, the pandemic was many things, but one of the things that I did appreciate coming out of it was the amount of places that now offer pickup
Yeah.
for purchases. I really do appreciate that because I really don't, especially when it comes to grocery shopping, I don't need to walk through the entire thing. Sometimes I do enjoy doing that, but man, having to do that every single week,
It is an
it's
interesting
exhausting.
it's an interesting dichotomy for stores because like yes it's very useful and it does give it generates business in that it takes away business from competitors like someone who lives close to my Kroger is not going to bother going to Walmart because they can just drive here drive here on their way home, grab their shit, and then just go straight home.
Right.
But on the flip side, Kroger doesn't really gain anything out of it.
Hmm.
Like, because the groceries that they get is no different. Like, that's gonna get sold either way, whether it's this person grabbing it or someone in store grabbing it.
Right.
Have you ever seen Matt Pat's food theory on the pitfalls of grocery stores?
I have not. Also, there's a microwave somewhere
Microwave?
that hasn't been cleaned. Oh, I think it has been cleaned.
Oh, shit! Did I miss the back? I missed the back. Um,
Wall lanterns. Okay, so we have wall lanterns we need to clean. Radio, microwave, and neon signs.
one of the things that he pointed out, which makes sense, grocery stores stage things in a very specific way to try to get you to impulse buy as much stuff as possible.
Oh, they do.
Like,
But
shopping carts.
they can. The thing is that they can emulate that sort of thing using shopping apps,
Yeah, but
and also by giving points and deals and things like that.
I know for a fact that there, at least some, probably a lot of customers do this to avoid. Like, I know for a fact, one of my customers, one of my regulars, she has told me she uses pickup because that stops her from going inside and impulse buying things that she wouldn't need.
Well, of course. I mean, it's bad for the grocery stores, but it's good for the user.
Yeah.
Fuck more box.
You're the box. Okay.
Oh, okay, I see the box.
There's that.
Uh,
Radio? You're the radio. I don't know. Kroger's been good to me. Like it's the first time in my life that I'm making enough money that I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by. And it's the first
I think
time.
it's interesting that you're doing this for cats.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's how it started. My manager at my original store did eventually convince me to leave GameStop to be a manager for Kroger. And I'm definitely glad that he did.
Yeah.
I needed that push. Neon signs. Ceiling lights. Okay. It's just light fixtures at this point. But yeah, it's the job's been good to me, but I don't think this is my final destination. Like I don't
Oh.
fully
I
see
mean,
myself.
your final destination is to eventually become a content creator.
That's
Full
the
time, is it not?
that's the hope. Yeah.
That's kind of the the dream that everyone sort of goes for.
Yeah. But
I
obviously
don't
not
know.
everybody makes it. Where's the other? I only see 2 neon signs. Where's a third neon sign?
Oh, is it this one? Yes.
What? Oh,
I got
never
it.
I never even saw that. A ceiling beam. It's you. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds, where my career is going to take me. I'm not in any rush to leave Kroger.
It seems like you're in a
But
good place right now.
yeah,
Excellent, we're done.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm in an interesting crossroads in my career where I don't really know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. But we'll see what the future holds.
course. And I think that concludes our stream, actually.
Yeah.
So what a good note to end on.
How many of these Final Fantasy ones are there?
Oh, is there another one?
There's another one.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Whatever. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you for inviting me to do this.
Of course.
Is there...
Okay, I guess it's time to just raid someone else and end the stream, but before that happens, thank you so much for coming on with me and cleaning these fantastical places, these final fantastical places, and sharing your story with me. I appreciate it.
Likewise. It's been fun getting to know you and chatting.
Of course.
I've had good conversations.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime, perhaps in a less intense format.
Right. So, whomst would you like to raid? You take the pick and I will follow.
I am planning to raid my good friend Sophia, who is currently streaming ASMR.
Cool. Give me the channel and I'll be right there with you.
Excellent.
I found it's fun to just double up or triple up on raids. Bombard people with consecutive raids.
Quite fun, actually.
Thanks for the stream. No, thank you for being here, Dragon. I appreciate you. And if you haven't already, or if anyone hasn't already, go check out ZhaJirou as well.
Oh, excellent. Yes, and also please follow Crow. Although I guess afraid of for the longest time
I'd
would
love
be
those
that
wings.
I would read to no one, and that has not happened yet.
I need to get a better
please
program because
follow.
mine occasionally crashes, like it just did.
For what?
Whenever I do shoutouts, it's supposed to play a clip, but it for the person I'm shouting out, but it broke.
Oh, interesting. What do you use?
I don't remember.
Okay. I will give you one of my recommendations.
Cool. It's probably better than whatever I have. I just Googled one, I picked the first one, and I called it a day.
Ah, I see. Well, I have a widget that's fairly easy to use. I'm just going to pause for a second while I wrap up stream, and I'll be back with you in chat.
Go for it.
I'll be right back.
I hope you guys had fun.
It's so sappy you're not sharing your monster. Myth, I'm not sure if you're talking about your Monster Energy drink.
That's the background. That's the clip. I was like, wait, I thought he left. But yeah, this was fun. I should play more PowerWash. I enjoy PowerWash Sim. And also, I just need to save up more money. Welcome back. And now we will away.
Yes, I've already rated in, but please go ahead.
Shit. How do you spell the channel name?
I gave you a link.
Did you? Ah, you did.
Yes.
I am losing my mind.
That's all right.
There it is. Okay. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at for the, thumbnail thing, but it's fine.
She's reading The Patchwork Girl of Oz.
Raid messages for anybody who's coming along with the raid. So copy whatever is your preference. And everyone have a good night. Goodbye.